Hi guys, I just want to first thank everyone for their kind support for this channel. It really means a lot to me. So on this video, I'm just showing you a typical week for the spring season, and you'll commonly hear me saying zones. They're basically areas or the rooms where we keep the seedlings in-house for the time being, and that's usually where I work. So without further ado, please enjoy the video, like and subscribe. Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's Monday and we're starting off with our daily task, which would be watering the seedlings. That's my buddy over there. Say hi. Say hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. All right, so we just watered them. These guys were just watered. Those were watered. So a typical morning for us would be checking on our plants by watering them, whether it's clear water or fertilized water. Right now we're just misting some seedlings that have just sprouted, just looking at the plants to see if there's anything wrong. So far so good, except maybe later I need to pull some of these extra seedlings off. You only want, for this type of plant, we only want one of them per cell because the other seedlings will be competing for the nutrients in the fertilizer. Hey guys, so as you see here in this petunia cell, there's too many of them in one cell. I mean, it looks fine now, but once it gets bigger, it's not gonna do very well. So this is what I mean. Sometimes by accident you can seed so much in one cell. Some plants can tolerate it, but this variety, the petunias, won't do very well, and they'll just outcompete each other. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take as much as I can off, leaving just one single plant in itself. So right now we are fertilizing the gazania over here. Both of these benches are getting heavily watered today because they're really dry. Hey guys, so yesterday, Monday, we were loading some petunias, these guys. But what happened was, before we loaded them, this cable fell off in this bay. So that delayed our process. But our mechanic fixed it already, and I just started watering today. Even though these are late, they'll still survive. And yeah. So what happened was, this cable over here fell and the overhead spray couldn't move. So instead of putting the petunias over there, we decided to move it over here, quite far apart from the others, but that's okay. It is what it is. So just an update, we're now in our mid-afternoon. Our snapdragons are showing signs of wilt. I'm watering down heavily right now just to catch up. Same with some hypoestis here and some up there. These guys as well, and as usual, it's the corners. Currently in zone 3 from zone 2. So now we gotta pick up the pace in watching out for wilt.
And now you see me unloading some seed trays to the benches. These guys came from our sweat room, which is a room kept at 100% humidity with a temperature of about 22 Celsius. Now these guys, depends on the variety, can be inside the room for about 2 days or even more. And it is very important that we load them to the benches as soon as possible once they're out of the room, just because of the sudden temperature change. And for watering, We can water them for about 2 to 3 times in a day, depends on the weather. If it's hot, they can be watered up to 4 times until the end of my shift, or if it's a fairly cloudy day, could be about 3 times. And because we're growing for the upcoming spring season, our sweat room is definitely full, and it has a lot of varieties of plants, which are going to be our bedding plants, our potted plants, hanging baskets, and a lot of varieties getting ready for the spring. So if you can imagine, the workload we have right now is quite very high. Right now I'm headed to one of my classes. I do have 3 this semester, and because of COVID, everything is online except when we have labs. We do go to the school greenhouse that you see over there, and it can be a challenge, but it is what it is to keep everybody safe, and having 3 classes and work are quite enough to manage for myself. And right now I'm gonna have my propagation class. My teacher's teaching us about simple grafting methods here. And we are also cross-pollinating some petunias here from white to red. And that's mine over there, wrapped in tin foil. We also harvested some lilies from my other class. And these guys were just plain cuttings from different plants that our teacher brought us, from Sansevieria to begonias to even a cactus that you see right over here. This was our class last semester, and we were preparing this house for spring season. And we're basically setting up the support strings for the tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers, and they look like this.
Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday today. So today we just finished watering zone 2. Yesterday we added more plants here. There are more petunias over here. So this bench over here are all mixed of different peppers. So today's agenda is to rearrange some seed trays because they are mixed with other different plants. Let's go over here. So here at the very end of this bench we have lavender and lettuce side by side, which is not the right thing to do. Even pansies. So one thing you have to remember is when we're watering, we always want to maintain a certain distance between the different trays. Like this spot over here. You always have to maintain certain distances just because some plants will absorb water differently. Some will take it more than the others. And so right now, I'm gonna take some time to rearrange some stuff. Even at this bay here, we have strawberries and oregano together. It's just really messy. Yesterday, before class, I watered these petunias heavily. So they're in the 5s, but right now they are approaching the 4. So they still have some weight to it, but they were drying really fast just because yesterday afternoon it got sunny. And this bench here has a huge problem. The trays on this section, these parts all the way there, are drying too fast. And I know what the problem is now is because of how people were arranging them. So as you see, I just pull the tray over here, pull over there, and over there. This distance made a huge difference in drying this section because this wall is very warm. Because at zone 3, it's way warmer. And so what happened was when people arranged this that way, this section got too dry. So it's very inconsistent in watering. So I'll also try to fix that today. Okay, so now we are at zone 3. So far so good. These are well watered. I just need to check the young seedlings like this set of trays and some over there at the far end. But the rest seem to be fine. It is going to be a good weather today. 8 Celsius, cloudy, maybe rainy, not sunny. So things are gonna dry more evenly here. Okay, so I moved the lettuces, and this is actually kale. I moved them here. They were originally bunched up over there, which is terrible because these are obviously 2 different plants. I also moved some oregano, which were bunched up together as well with the lettuce and the kale. And finally, I moved the petunias further here. And you see there's that gap over here. Unfortunately, the damage has already been done. This section here has a lot of dead spots, meaning none have germinated. Well, now you see that arrangement is very important in this industry. So how did this other lettuce get into this one? 2 different lettuces in one cell. That's cool. Hopefully you grow well. So we got some mice damage on these pepper plants. Couple of flats over here and random places they were dug up or eaten. Like this guy. We have a mice problem. So now it's Friday. I didn't get to record much, but it's been the same thing I've been doing over the past few days. And if you can imagine, it's been quite busy. But what used to look like this, now looks like this. Now we are at zone 10, where we keep our transplanted seedlings, where they finish off before being sold to the public at garden centers or your big stores. And they're being transplanted on the pots or hanging baskets that you see over here, where it's a mix of flowers and other vegetative plants. And now we're gonna be moving to the next room, which is full of marigolds over here and some dracaenas over here and some herbs at the back over there. Here we have some strawberries in the hanging baskets. And now some herbs, that's some cilantro. We got some oregano, some chives. And now I want to show you the last room, which is full of our primula plants. And we actually had some problems with them last year where they had looked like this, and they have developed some very weird foliage problems, actually looking moldy like this. And we found out there's a problem with their soil, just basically malnourished. So we fed them with good fertilizer, and now they look like this. And this is why I wake up early morning every shift to make sure a lot of our plants are well taken care of. It is not a one-person team for sure. I have had many great help along the way, and it just goes to show you, with patience and proper care, all of your plants would look as beautiful as these guys here. I mean, look at them. They're just so awesome. Beautiful colors here. And with that, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. And until next time, have an awesome day, everybody, and be safe.